What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, and today I'm very excited to be talking about the Oregon Trail card game from Pressman Games. This is for 2 to 6 players, ages 12 plus. They'll take, I don't know, between 2 and 20 minutes to play, somewhere in that spectrum most of the time. And in the Oregon Trail card game, this is based off the immensely popular PC game in which you're going to be going from Missouri to Oregon without getting bit by snakes, or having your wagon break down, or your oxen dying, or getting bad water, or all sorts of terrible, terrible things that will inevitably happen to you and kill you. This is a completely cooperative game, meaning that everyone is going to be working together in the best interest of your wagon as you venture towards the west. It is a Target exclusive, but is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think about it. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of the Oregon Trail card games. First for us, we have a handy-dandy rule booklet, which is a very large fold-out thing full of pictures, colors, illustrations. It just kind of pops off the page, which is really nice. Tons of examples, and yet it still managed to be incredibly vague and incredibly painfully annoying. And what's worse about this rule booklet is it leaves so many things vague that you're going to come back to the rule booklet hoping to find the answers for maybe 2, 3 questions, maybe 4 questions your first game, and you won't be able to find that, which extends out the game because you'll be like, no, give me a minute, guys. I'm pretty sure that the rule clearly has to be in here. And then you just don't find it. And then you get frustrated with the game, and then you just set this game on fire. But let's talk about that more in the pros and cons. So, in Oregon Trail, this is based off the immensely popular computer game of the same name, in which you are going to be trying to go from Independence, Missouri to, I don't know, wherever the heck that place is. Most of us didn't actually make it there in the game or in this game. You're going to be doing that by laying down these cards right here, which are trail cards. Most of them are going to look like this. A lot of them will also have rivers that will tell you to do special things. We'll get to those when we get to those. Every once in a while, and I believe there's only 3 in the entire deck, you're going to see a town or a fort. This is where you're going to gain supply cards. The supply cards are down here. They're pretty self-explanatory. Spare parts, medicine, clean water, food, oxen, so on and so forth. These are things that you are going to need to deal with calamities in the game. These are the cards that you will be drawing every turn for the most part that are the bane of your existence. So let's go over these cards. So first we have a broken arm. Your arm is on the mend, set out 2 rounds. So essentially, you don't play for the next 2 rounds. Let's see, Thief. A thief steals your supplies. Discard 1 supply card. So that would just be one of your supply cards. Boop, it's gone. We got another Thief. Extreme Cold. So this one, bundle up and beat the cold with 1 clothing card. 1 round to play without a clothing card, and you have died of extreme cold. So if you don't get clothes, you die. Cholera. You have cholera. 2 medicine cards can cure you. If any player draws another cholera card before you're cured, you have died. So, bad water. Flush away your bad with 1 clean water. If 2 bad water cards appear, then your oxen dies, and everyone in your party dies if you can't get a new oxen. We got a broken wheel. We have typhoid. There's cholera. Where is it? There's one where you just immediately die as well. Starvation. You need the food. You have died of a snake bite. That's fun. You draw that card, you're dead. So on and so forth. It is a very difficult game, and these are the reason why it's a very difficult game. So let's show you how the game is played. So on your turn, it's very simple. You are going to play 1 card. You are either going to play a trail card, or you are going to play a supply card to help out someone's calamity. Now, how the supply cards work is you're going to start with X amount of cards depending on how many players you are. So let's just say we're playing a 6-player game. We would get to start with 3 supply cards in our hand. Woohoo! So we would do these, you'd shuffle these up, deal these all out, and then you're going to make what's called, I think it's like the market or something like that, where you're just going to sort them out and put them in front of the youngest person. Essentially, that person is just in charge of handing these out when people need to trade in supplies, because at any point during your turn, or anyone else's turn, you can trade in 2 supplies for any 1 specific supply. Let's say you're going to die of, starvation or something, then you can trade in, a pair of boots and an oxen to get the food you need so you don't die. But most of the time on your turn, what's going to happen is you are going to play a trail card. So I'll show you the different kinds of trail cards. This is the best trail card in the game for the most part because it doesn't do anything. It's just a regular old trail. So that would play that down. That's our first turn, and boom, we would move on to the next player. Now the next player probably doesn't have one of those cards because they're incredibly rare, so they will play what is probably the next most prevalent card, which is the press spacebar to continue. So how this works is you play this, and it has to line up with that one right there. Haha, clever. And then it says to draw one Calamity card. Now, I do want to mention that these cards are supposed to actually be about, I think, like 3 feet apart. They're very close right now just for camera angle purposes, but I did want to mention that. So, we played that card. Now we draw a Calamity. Bad water. Your oxen drink bad water. Flush away bad water with one clean water card. So, there we go. We now have our first Calamity. This stays on the table. So what's going to happen is someone, for their turn, is going to have to play a Clean Water card. Now, I don't have a Clean Water card, but if someone else did have a Clean Water card, most likely on their turn, what they would do is they would play that to the supply, and then this Calamity card would go away. Now, you're going to continue to go around, so we'll take a look at a couple more of the other trail cards. You're going to see a lot of these. These are river cards. So how this works is you're going to roll the die, and there's a 6-sided die right here, and you're going to hope to ford the river. If you roll an odd number, you're going to lose one supply card. Now, a lot of these will say things like lose supply cards. Some of them will say, let's see, if you roll a 1, then you immediately drown. Oh, here we go. Roll a 1 and die by drowning. Roll a 3 and 5 and play passes to the left. So this one, instead of losing a supply, if you roll an odd, if you roll a 1, you're going to die. The last kind of card you're going to run into are towns or forts. When you play this down, it's going to allow you to get supplies. I'm not sure if that's just the person that plays the card or everyone. I didn't clearly see it in the rule booklet either. If I missed it, be sure to mention it, but I'm pretty sure I went through there with a fine-tooth comb and could not find it. Now, what's going to happen eventually is you're going to have 5 of these in a row. Now, obviously, I know that doesn't work. Here we go. You're going to have 5 of these. Son of a monkey. Come on. Give me the... There we go. 5 of these in a row. And what you're going to do is you're going to stack them all up like so, and bada boom. You're once again then going to try and get another row of 5 right here. If you do that again, then once again you are going to take all 5 of that stack, put it right next to this one, so you'll have something that maybe looks like this, and then you're going to rinse, wash, and repeat. Your goal is to do this 10 times. If you can do that 10 times, then you successfully reach Willamette Valley, Oregon, in which case you have 1 Oregon Trail. Now, one last component I forgot to mention, because it's completely unnecessary, but just there to, be funsies, is this thing right here, where you're going to write down all the different players who are playing in the game, and in the back, you write down how they die, because most of the time, all of them will die. But that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play the Oregon Trail card game. Alrighty then, the Oregon Trail card game from Pressman. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the pro side, I love the original IP. I grew up with Oregon Trail. I am the nostalgia factor. I am the person that this game is marketed to. I play board games. I love Oregon Trail. I love the artwork. I love cooperative games. I love difficult games. This should be a home run for me. It really should. It scratches so many itches that I have. So that's a pro. Continuing onward, the rule booklet just kind of pops out. It's very vivid and has lots of pictures, and it looks good. And I feel like they did the IP justice. I feel like this does feel enough like the Oregon Trail that I can say, oh yeah, it feels like the Oregon Trail game. And the box is smallish. That's nice. It wasn't a giant oversized box. The price is pretty cheap at Target, which is a good thing. I'm sure they run lots of deals too, so you can get it even cheaper. The box insert is perfectly serviceable, and the components are decent enough. The cards are fine. You don't need this little dry erase marker and board at all, but still, it's nice they included it. And the game can elicit some funny times. It really can when somebody draws a card and like, oh, you're dead. And it's like, oh, we're so close. And it has that. It's a very difficult game, which I do like difficult games. And it's for some people, it's going to be one of those games like, oh, we were so close. Let's deal that up and do that again. We were just so close. I bet we can do it this time. But moving on to the pros. This game is bad. This game is bad, bad, bad if you don't play a lot of games. And I want to put that caveat in there. I played this with some people who don't play too many games, and they really enjoyed the game. And I really hated the game. Part of the reason why I first hated the game, the very first game, the first card I drew was I played a Space War card, and then I got the Calamity that said that I was dead. And I was like, I'm dead? Are you serious? I'm dead? Oh, goody, I get to be the shopkeeper. Whoop-de-doo, I'm the shopkeeper. And that immediately kind of soured me on the game. There is a lot of bad stuff in this game, but I think if you were coming into this as a mostly non-gamer, as someone who's played maybe Uno, Yahtzee, Skip-Bo, those kind of games in your life, I think you will enjoy this game. And I don't know if I can recommend the game. I can't recommend the game because there's thousands of games that are better than this game, but I think you will still have a decent amount of fun with this game. But I sat back and I really thought about this game, and I played it, 4, 5, 6 times. And as I played it more, I was like, okay, it's growing on me a little bit. And the reason why I say that is because the reason why I hate the game is because it is all 100% pure luck. You draw bad cards, you're dead. You don't get the right trail cards, you're dead. You don't get the right supply cards, you're dead. You can't get to a fort or a town. If you just shuffle the deck and the forts and towns are all on the bottom, you're dead. You lose the game. There is nothing you can do that you physically as a player can do to help yourself win the game. There are certain decisions and strategic moves that you can make that will help you out throughout the game, but there's nothing that you can do. If you shuffle it bad and you deal it bad, you're going to lose the game. There is no way you can mitigate that. And that's why I don't like the game. But as non-gamers who maybe are more used to that, like the Uno factor, where most of the time the decisions you make in Uno don't impact the game that much, I feel like they are going to enjoy this game more than gamers are. So this is the short and low of it. If you are a gamer who routinely plays board games, no, don't get this. It sucks. It's completely random. It's completely luck-based. It's insanely difficult, and you have no control over anything you're doing in this. But if you're not, then maybe. Give it a whirl. Give it a try, but don't buy it. So what else do I dislike about the game? The rules are not very good. They look like they're very good, and when I read the rules, I was like, wow, these are great rules. Like, look at these pictures. Some big game companies could take note from these rules. And then I got through playing the game. I was like, oh man, so how does this work? And you're like, oh crap, I don't know. How does this work? Oh, I'm not even sure. Like, even how you set out the cards isn't very clearly explained when you put them into a pile of 5, and that's just annoying. There's a lot of those weird, vague rules in this game where you're like, I'm not sure. Not to mention the components. They probably could have knocked off $1 off this game, just got rid of these things, because you don't need these. Why do you need to write down people's names and then write down how they died on the back? I understand that some people will get a kick out of that, but it's dumb and completely unnecessary. Sure, a game could include a whistle with it, and that would be awesome. I would love it if a game included a whistle, but that's still stupid and dumb because you don't need a whistle to play the game, much like you do not need a dry erase marker to play this game. It's way too difficult, and not in a good way. I love difficult games. I really do. I love games where the game just beats you down, but you still feel like you have a small semblance of chance. This game, a lot of the times, and I am 0 for 5 on this game, or 0 for 6 on this game, I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like we were going to win any of those games. From the beginning to the end, I always thought, oh, something bad is going to happen, and we're going to lose. And the one time where I was like, maybe, we got through 5 stacks, and I was like, oh, we might have a chance. Then somebody died immediately, and then somebody else died the next turn. I was like, oh, we're done. So, this game sucks. You suck, Target. I hate you, Target. So this is not part of the review, but I just want to go on a little rant right now and say, Target, eat it. Eat it, Target. Go hire someone to play these games who is a game player before you sign these 40 games. Because here's the thing. You go and you get this game, and this game sucks, and you hate this game, or you're going to go back to Target as a non-gamer and buy more of these fancy games that are Target? No, you probably don't. You're probably snake-bitten. Haha, that pun was unintentional. And then you don't buy a game again. Well, I am all for having our games at Target. I think that is fantastic, amazing, spectacular that we're breaking into the mass market. Target needs to... And here's the thing. I actually talked to my buddy John about this game. And he pointed out that The reason why this is at Target is because it's going to sell. And I agree with them. It is going to sell. But here's the thing. Target has all that control in that situation. If you are a game company and Target comes to you and says, hey, we want a huge print run to sell exclusively at Target, you are guaranteed to make money on this game. You are just flipping over the table with excitement because your game is going to be seen by millions of people. So they need to go through these games better. Like, seriously, this game was completely made, they gave it to Target, and then they could have been like, hey, Pressman, this game sucks. Why don't you take 1 day to fix this game? Now, most of the time, obviously, you can't fix games in 1 day. It takes months and months of play testing. But with this particular game, there's like 3 or 4 immediate changes that could be made to this game to make it a much better game, a much more palatable game. Even an additional addendum in the rules that are like, here are some easier things you can do to make the game a little bit easier could have been put in these rules, and they chose not to do it, and it's laziness, so get out of here, Target. I probably should go over here. But, sorry for going on that rant right there. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below, and in the comments below. Don't buy this game! It sucks! And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.